Welcome everyone to Neverwinter on PC. My name is Rainer and today I will be once again checking out the Astral lockbox, this time opening 20,000 lockboxes. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you would like to see more information over this about Neverwinter, hit the subscribe button. This is not the first time we opened this Astral lockbox, and from the description, not much has changed. Actually, the description is exactly as it was before, but something other than the lockbox quality now being legendary has changed. By the way, the Magnificent lockbox for some reason now is mythic, so I don't know what's going on there. But the random account-wide mounts, and I think Northside made a video about that, there are more mounts now on the loot table. And maybe also the epic and epic mounts and epic companions have loot tables have been increased. So in this video I will not be checking all of the drop rates. I have done that before. What I am going to check are the following 4 things. First of all, which mounts and companions on the random loot tables. As I said, that's really important. I want to know which ones are in there because the blog is not complete anymore, which announced the Astral lockbox. Second of all, we see a couple of insignias in here, and we all know that Insignia Powder is really important at the moment with the colors and also the insignia upgrades. So Insignia Powder is really important. So I'm going to refine all the insignias that I get in these 20,000, and then I'm going to divide the powder that I receive. I have 0 right now. I'm going to divide all the powder that I get from that by 20,000 and I have the average amount of powder I get per box. This is not including all the trade bars that I get, which you also can turn into powder because you can buy epic insignias. Not gonna do that. Just the insignias that drop. Next up, I'm also going to do a quick recap of how many Tamlin trade bars I get on average in the Astral lockboxes. I think the previous value was 46 or something like that, 47 on average, but I'm just going to do that again. And I'm going to also recheck the legendary drop rate. So I'm adding in the last 2, because those are the most important prizes in this lockbox. So changes in those 2 items actually have an impact. Anyway, we have 20,000 lockboxes to open, so let's get started.
It's so appealing when you get a taste of a world you've never been before.
cards. And first of all, the elephant in the room, let's look at what was added to the loot tables. And of course, if you've watched the time lapse, you've seen already there's a mythic mount in here now, and that's the mythic King of Spines actually, and this one is worth quite a bit. If you have got, if you would have gotten one of the others, those are hovering around 3 million on PC. It's still 3 million AD, but it's not that great. I think the King of Spines is actually 7, 8, maybe 9 million. I haven't looked up the price for a while now, but this one is actually worth quite a bit. So that's already interesting. But let's go through the lists. Let's start with the companions. If we look at the companions that are in here, the Savage Allosaur, we have the Razorwood Fiora, the Deep Crow Hatchling, Dancing, Shields, the Bullet Pup, the Termish Lion. Wait, this is already a mount. So these are the same as there were before. As for the mounts, again, it's the same as before. It's the epic versions of the legendary mounts that were in the old logbox. I have the list now on the screen. There were the legendary Hellfire Engine, which actually is not in the box anymore. The Swift Golden Lion is also not in there anymore. The Carpet of Flying is also not in there anymore. The Triceratops is gone, and the Volcanic Flailstorm is gone. So this box is completely changed. As for the legendary mount between quotes section, there were 5 different ones in here, and it's now 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I guess. I guess this is also included in the legendary mount part, because where else is it? What I find a little bit interesting is that the blog where the Astral logbox was released states that for the random epic mounts, you get the epic version of the legendary mount, and that's not the case anymore. They didn't change that. I don't know if that was forgotten or it's intended, I don't know, but that's definitely not true anymore. Anyway, so yeah, we now have the Celestial Stag in here, we have the legendary Giant Toad, we have the Swarm, we have the Tensel's Floating Disc, and we have the King of Spines in here. All of them are account bound, are account wide, so really, really nice. So that's about the loot tables. As for Insignia Powder, I actually was refining it also in the time lapse a bit. I think I will leave that in where I refine it. And as you can see, I have here 30,000, but I also had to put some in the bank because I just had too much. I had 100,000 plus 30,000. So in total, in 20,000 boxes, I got 130,000, 135 Insignia Powder, which is about, what is that? 6.5 Insignia Powder per box. You can calculate for yourself if that's worth it. It's just under, is it just under 10k per Insignia Powder? Maybe under 9k? I didn't calculate that one. But yeah. And that's just the Insignia part, of course. If you don't want to refine the legendaries, I also did that. Then you get to 104,510 Insignia Powder, which is 5.22 per box. And then you have your legendary insignias left over. As for the drop rates, I did the legendaries and mythics apart, but I also combined them. As for the legendaries, the drop rate is, I got 54 of them in 20k boxes, which is a drop rate of 0.27%. The mythics, I got 9, as you can see, which is a drop rate of 0.045%. If you combine them, which is, I think, what you should do, because they are in the same thing, and I think the drop rate for these and the other ones are approximately the same. If I look at the swarms, I got the same amount as this. I think they have the same drop rate. Then you add them up, you come to a drop rate of about 0.315%. If we compare that with the drop rates from before, when the drops were not changed yet, we had 0.26%. So that's pretty much the same, 0.3-ish percent. Maybe we got a little bit more than before. You can also see that I have a couple of indomitable runestones in here. So this is what I do with the trade bars. With these Astral lockbox, you get a massive amount of trade bars. And when the box is telling me, oh, you cannot open anymore, well, I'm just going to buy 19 of the indomitable runestones so I can continue opening these boxes. Otherwise, I have to, spend them on something else. I just have to spend them so I can continue. So if I add up all of these indomitable runestones and I add up the trade balls that I have here, by the way, I'm missing 2, I think, because I was moving them around a bit. But if I add everything up, I get to 914,375 trade bars that I got in 20,000 boxes, which is about 45.7 per box. 45.7, 47. It's about the same. So I don't think the drop rates have changed much. It's pretty much the same. They just changed the loot table of the top reward, which is legendary mount account wide, but now it also has a mythic mount. Very, very interesting. I'm not gonna show these mounts because we all know what they look like, I think, and I think that's not really interesting, and the video is already long enough, I think. So I'm gonna leave it there. If you have any remarks on this video or any suggestions on what to investigate next, feel free to leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video.